social media and especially video are going to be the number one ways that you market. Because when we look at social media today, it's not pictures and things anymore. Everybody wants to watch YouTube videos. They want to watch TikToks. They want to listen to podcasts like this. You have to get good at marketing on camera. How are you going to hire somebody to do it for you if you don't even know how to do it yourself? Today, we are going to focus on marketing, and I'm going to tell you about all of the strategies that I have used to create $1 million a month marketing funnels. Now, the inspiration from this video came from another podcast I did where I talked about the front to end process of how I've created these $1 million funnels, all the way from the marketing to the landing page to the appointment to the closers and everything else, how we just generate these funnels every single day from social media, from ads, and how they convert into dollars. Well, during that, I said, hey guys, if you want to learn more about marketing, I'll do another podcast on that if you guys really like this video. And that video actually got way more views than I thought it would. And the comments were really inspiring and super positive. So I am now giving the people what they want. I'm going to talk about the marketing piece in depth because I think that as far as the entire funnel goes, if you didn't see that, you can watch that after this video. But, it all starts with marketing. You're not going to end up getting any kind of sales for your business if you're not attracting people to the product and to, this funnel that you've created that works. So let's go in depth on marketing today, boys and girls. So first off, marketing, okay? To me, marketing is the most important aspect of a business. As I've always said, there are three really key departments of any business you start. There's sales, marketing, and operations, okay? And it doesn't matter whether you're flipping houses, doing an education business, tax business, every business has sales, marketing, and operations. When you look at Apple, really big company, obviously, their marketing, they have iconic kinds of commercials that really get people hyped up to go buy the iPod or the iPhone or the MacBook, whatever it is they were selling in that era. And, as far as sales go, the products kind of sell themselves because the marketing is so good, right? Because people are so in tune with the brand, they don't really need to do a ton of sales, right? Like people will go to the Apple store. Sure, the people at the Apple store might assist them in helping buy it, but the sale's pretty easy because the marketing is so good, And from there, once people buy, operationally, they know that they're going to get all the support they need. Like they can expect that their MacBook is going to work. They're going to expect that iMessage is going to work and their emails are going to be fine and iCloud and, everything within the Apple ecosystem is going to work just fine because Apple has their operations on lockdown. But, as I've talked about with sales and marketing, your sales process becomes way easier when your marketing is really good and when you start getting word of mouth from your operations, from the performance of your product. And so, when I've looked at my businesses over time and I've started to think okay, how can we grow these businesses and generate more revenue and help more people? I haven't necessarily looked at how do I get better closers. I mean, we are trying to always improve all aspects, but the thing I've looked at is, hey, the current people who have bought from us, how do we get them to want to go tell all their friends about the product, right? How do we create this system of, hey, they're getting such great results. They're then doing the marketing for us, right? They're telling their friends and they're telling their family. They're talking about it on social media, etc. Right? Like marketing doesn't have to always be just new people who don't know who you are, right? So I want to make this very clear on the first thing I'm going to talk about with marketing, and that is the most valuable piece of marketing is word of mouth. Okay, it is word of mouth from somebody else that has already used your product. That is the biggest endorsement somebody can give to your business. So, I know we're always trying to acquire new customers, but if your current customers are taken care of, number one, they're going to renew in your business if you have some kind of other thing that they can buy, right? If they can re-up their yearly membership or their monthly membership or their subscription, or if they can buy, repeatedly from you, maybe you sell a product that they need to buy every single month. Maybe, you come up with different products that, they're going to like. Well, that's the best kind of customer, right? Because they're already going to continue to buy from you and, they're going to be the ones who tell all their friends. So for us, when we think about marketing to our current customer base, we want to, number one, deliver on what we sold them. so that they're very happy with the service, the product, and then they're able to go and, get success from it. But number two, we make them want to talk about it by either, giving them some kind of affiliate, right? Like, hey, if you talk about it and somebody else signs up, not only are we going to be happy because it's more revenue for us, but you're going to be happy because now you're going to get paid to do it. Plus, ideally your friend or your family member is going to love you for recommending this because, it's something that obviously you believe in so much that you're willing to tell them and, put your stamp of approval on. So we want to always work on affiliates and our current customer base first and foremost when it comes to marketing. The second thing we think about with current customers is how do we market to them with, like I said, other products and services that are relevant to them. Okay. So once again, the easiest person to sell is somebody who's already been sold before. And so what else do they need for whatever it is they bought? When I just look at somebody who's bought into Wealthy Investor, my real estate investing education company, what are other services they need? Well, I have a tax firm called TrueBooks. Obviously, they need tax. So how do we market to them effectively, like the value of our tax firm? Well, we can have my partner, Matt, come in and give free trainings on tax to our students. And, at that point, it's a win-win because number one, they're getting free training whether or not they use TrueBooks, and they're going to learn a ton. And number two, because they get to experience Matt and, get trust in him and everything else, it now makes them aware of TrueBooks as the product. And in turn, there's a chance that they end up using TrueBooks from there. So, I think that most businesses don't think this way. They think that, number one, once they have a customer, that's it. They're done. They don't even think about getting the customer to talk about their business and give them the resources to do so. We give all of our customers a ton of merch at all of our events. Like you will see people with our shirts on social media because we know it's number one, they're going to like it. Like there's really nice clothes that they're proud to wear. Two, they know that the brand means something, like it's got a good connotation with it. But number three, for us, it's good marketing. When somebody's wearing your clothing brand online and they're talking about your stuff, that is great, great marketing. There's no real better endorsement than that. Think about it. Nike pays Jordan, I think they've paid him over $1 billion to wear their stuff. They've paid LeBron, probably over $1 billion as well to wear their stuff. And that is the biggest endorsement when somebody else wears your stuff or uses your product and tells other people about it. And so I want to pay people to do that, as long as they actually like it. LeBron wouldn't endorse Nike and sign with them if he didn't like it, right? He doesn't have to do that, but he loves the product. So we always think about affiliates and we think about what else, does this customer need beyond just, the thing that they bought and signed up for. So that's number one. Okay. Now let's talk about people who are not yet your customers. Okay. Customers are the easiest ones to knock out because they're already in your business. If I'm trying to attract a new customer to my business and I'm trying to market to them, for me, the first thing that I want to do in today's day and age with, all the resources available to us, for me anyways, is social media. I mean, there's lots of ways we can market, right? We can make social media content. We can run Facebook ads, YouTube ads. We can cold call people. We can text people. We could door knock people, depending on what your industry is. There's you can send cold emails, like the cold DMs too on social media, by the way. Like none of these things are wrong. All right. But for me, what I always like to think about is number one, how do I create more inbound traffic for my business? Okay. Because there's two forms of marketing. You've got inbound and outbound. Okay. Inbound marketing is when people see your marketing and they're willing to just call you from your marketing. And this is very powerful because if somebody calls you and reaches out to you, that means they really want to buy your product or service. Outbound marketing is different. It's that they don't know you. And in most cases, they weren't looking for your product or service. You are going out to them and saying, hey, are you interested in this? Odds are 99% of them will say no. And that's just the odds of outbound marketing. Like the majority are going to say no, but some are going to say yes. And when you get a bunch of people who say yes, and it doesn't cost you anything to market to these people because it's just like purely sweat we call this sweat equity. You're just working to get the leads. It doesn't cost you a lot of money other than time. And so when you're first starting a business, most people are focused on outbound marketing types, especially when I get into real estate investing and we teach new investors over at Wealthy Investor how to do this. A lot of stuff is from cold calling, text messaging, you know, some people like to door knock, drive for dollars. These are like outbound marketing tactics where, you know, at the end of the day, most are going to say no, but because it doesn't cost you a lot of money, it just takes time. You're able to get a great ROI, okay, especially if you're first starting out. Now, on the flip side, with inbound marketing, this is where you're going to, whatever it is, get them to call you. And so examples of inbound marketing, like I said, would be if you start creating social media content and people then reach out to you. If you ever watch my social media content right now, I do a lot of Instagram stories, Instagram reels, even TikToks and other things where I'm like, hey, DM me this keyword. And if they DM me the keyword, it then takes them into this funnel and they can go watch the VSL like I talked about in the other podcast. And then, we can generate a lead. All right. They chose to go through this entire process. So we know that by the time they hit our CRM, they are, usually a qualified lead. And so this is what you want to create with inbound marketing because they want your product or service. They are aware of what it is. You don't really necessarily have to educate them a ton. They're looking for it. Okay. So I like social media on that aspect. I think that, in that same bucket, social media ads are also there. So if you have, YouTube ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, TikTok ads, and you're going to create these, ads to get people to come to you for a lead, that's great because they're coming to you. They're going to be an inbound marketing source. Other forms of inbound marketing sources that we use, in the house flipping business, we use TV commercials. People call the TV commercial. They come into us. It works out really well. Another form of marketing that we use is direct mail. Okay. So inbound marketing for direct mail, they get a mailer from us for a house flip. It just says, hey, do you want to sell your house? Call us today. They call us. We know they want to sell their house. It's not a cold call where we're saying, hey, do you want to sell your house? I know you weren't thinking about it, but any interest? 99% of people are saying no. Right. But there's a difference. If I have to go sell, let's say I send out 1,000 pieces of direct mail and it costs me $1 to go send out every piece, right? And I get 10 people to call me back. I only get 10 leads. Okay. Well, for $1,000, I could hit a lot more people. If I was cold calling and texting, I would buy the data, then I would spend the rest of the money on a dialer and on a text messaging campaign. And once I have that data, I own it forever. And so now I can cold call or text these people forever, really. And so each month, what happens is I can build up the list by getting, $500 worth of new phone numbers every month. And then I use the rest of the remaining budget to, text and cold call them. And I'm going to generate way more leads doing this. But the flip side is how much time does it take me personally to go call all these people and text all these people and communicate with them, right? And the majority of them are just not good leads. And so even though I might generate, 10 times as many leads, they're not going to be as quality and it's going to take me a lot more time versus the direct mail being inbound. It doesn't take me any time. I just go send out the direct mail and I just sit there and wait. And then, I can do other lead generation tactics like cold calling and stuff. I mean, that's why people do a combination of both. So that's, they're able to handle all that. But, long story short, it's important when it comes to marketing to understand inbound versus outbound leads. That's number one. But number two is, when we're talking about social media, let's go in depth on that because in my opinion, for most businesses, social media and especially video are going to be the number one ways that you market, right? Because when we look at social media today, it's not pictures and things anymore, right? Everybody wants to watch YouTube videos. They want to watch, TikToks. They want to listen to podcasts like this. And so you have to get good at marketing on camera, right? Like it used to be, you read the newspaper or, you'd read this online big sales page And it was just a bunch of copywriting, and that was what sold people. And it's true. That still sells people. That is great, a great form of marketing, and we'll dive onto that too. But in my opinion, okay, if you were to say, Ryan, I want to become a great marketer for all my businesses or just one business, what should I first do to become a great marketer? I would tell you, you're probably going to have to get good at making videos, okay? Or at least directing people to make the right kind of videos, because you may not be very good on camera talking and filming and whatever, and that's cool. But how are you going to hire somebody to do it for you if you don't even know how to do it yourself, right? You may not be the most charismatic on camera, but I will tell you, there's lots of people who make content who just aren't the best speakers. They kind of look awkward, but to me anyways, it's kind of more trustworthy, because you think that they're just like a normal person, just like you. They're not hiding anything. They're not like a slick salesman, right? I think there's also a problem when you're too smooth. And I've purposely, in some marketing and ads, like kept my mess ups in, because I want people to see like, oh yeah, he messes up. He's a normal person. Like I trust this guy, versus like a super highly produced scripted video, word for word, no mess ups. It's just like perfect. I think those videos used to work, 5-7 years ago. I think raw, unscripted videos just like this, right? I have literally no script right now. I'm freestyling this whole thing for you. I think these work far more effective than scripted these days, right? And it's funny because in 2018, when I went to my really first big business event, it was the 10X Growth Con here in Las Vegas, Grant Cardone. And it was the first time I had ever seen guys like Russell Brunson, who is he's the owner of ClickFunnels, and he's the king of sales and marketing funnels. He was the first time I ever bought something from a guru, because I was like, dude, I need to buy ClickFunnels. I don't even know what that guy just said, but it makes complete sense. I'm gonna buy it. He was good. And then I remember seeing this guy Tai Lopez on stage. And at the time, I didn't know who Tai Lopez was. I was brand new to entrepreneurship. I was playing baseball my whole life. I didn't care about these guys. I barely knew who Grant Cardone was. I didn't know really who any of the other speakers were. And then this Tai Lopez guy, people knew him, but I had no idea. And Tai goes on stage and he starts talking about how, when he films ads, he likes to just get his phone, do a nice raw video, vertical, and he just talks and he posts the ad. And he was like, these ads work far better than everyone else's highly produced ads. Now, mind you, we know this today, okay? But he was saying this back in 2018 when other people would have disagreed. Other people would have said, hey, film horizontal ads. Make sure that you cut out your mess ups, you get it highly edited, use a good camera, blah, blah, blah. He was like, nah, just pull up your phone, make the ad, and that's going to perform better than everything else. And at the time, I wasn't a good marketer. I didn't know anything better. But as the years went on, that always stuck to me, where I was like, man, when it comes to marketing, people really like realness way more than they like highly produced stuff. And, at the end of the day, I think there is a time and a place for a highly produced ad or piece of content. But from what I have seen, people prefer the raw, real stuff overall. Real quick, if you haven't heard, my book, The Wealthy Way, is coming out December 13th. I have been working on this book for years, and I'm super excited about it, and I want to have a massive launch, and I need your help. So here's what we are going to do. You can actually pre-order the book on Amazon right now on the Kindle version. And the best part is that Kindle version is only going to be 99 cents. Now, this book is a lot more valuable than 99 cents, but I want to get it in everyone's hands. So you can support by ordering it there right now. Now, on December 13th, you can get access to the paperback, you can get access to the Audible and all that good stuff. But that's not all we're doing. If you want to really support and leave a review for the book, I'm actually going to be giving away a free course that I created called Business Builder Academy. This is teaching everyone how to start a business from start to scratch, how to figure out your branding, your products, sales, marketing, everything that I've done to start up all of my businesses. I've put into this academy, and I'm gonna give it to you completely free as long as you leave a review on Amazon. So think about it. You can go buy the book for $1, leave a review, and get a course worth thousands. So if you want to support and you want to get access to that, go to wealthywaybook.com, okay? wealthywaybook.com. You'll be able to go pre-order it. You'll be able to submit proof of your review, and you're gonna get access to that course. So I appreciate all you guys. Let's have a huge launch for this book and change some lives. So I thought that was interesting. That still kind of remains true. Some of my best performing marketing pieces that we've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars behind, in ad spend, have been just literally raw videos. Me freestyling, no edits, just talking. And some of you guys may have seen these ads before, right? So, yeah, I think getting the right style is important with your marketing. Okay. I also think, when it comes to content, there's obviously free versus paid. Okay. So for me, I spend a lot of time making videos like this because it is good content. It's great marketing for my businesses. The hope would be if you watch this and you got a ton of value, you would continue to follow me and you would subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not, right? And in time, during some of my content, you would hear me talk about one of my businesses. And one of those businesses would resonate with you and what you're trying to do. And so, if you're looking to get in real estate investing, you've already heard me talk about Wealthy Investor, during this episode. And so maybe you're like, you know what? I actually like what he said in that content. Like, I vibe with that guy. I'm gonna trust him at Wealthy Investor. You might say the same thing about True Books, which I mentioned earlier. Long story short, the goal is to just give as much free value as humanly possible. Like, do not hold anything back in your content. Don't think that, oh man, if I tell them every step of this, they're not going to use me. It's like, no, the opposite is true. The more you give, the more people want to work with you. People don't work with you because, they don't know anything. Many people know a lot. We get tons of real estate investors who join Wealthy Investor who they're already millionaires. Like they already join as a millionaire. And they're not joining because they think they're going to learn all these things they've never heard of before, right? In actuality, they might just hear the same things they already knew, but they needed to be reminded of it. Or they're joining for other reasons, right? They want to be around other like-minded people who are going to push them. They want to do deals and joint ventures with, other students. They want to get closer to me and learn things that I know that they don't. Like, there's lots of reasons why an experienced person would join. But, at the end of the day, how do you even get that kind of customer? It's by simply displaying your expertise through content, right? Because if you're just solely hiding everything back, how does anyone know that you even know anything? Like, why would they even want to buy from you? Okay. So this is like, I know I'm speaking from the educational standpoint, but this is all products and services, right? Like, you want to just show people what they can get and be as real and as transparent as possible. So think about that with content. You're really good at speaking on camera. That is going to be, in my opinion, the best marketing channel in the coming years. I think social media is not done by any means. I don't think it's oversaturated. I don't think any of those things are true. I think that social media, like every other business, will continue to gain more and more competition as people realize the value of it, right? People don't join industries and businesses that they think suck, that's not going to make them any money. They join industries and businesses that they see as having a lot of upside and being worthwhile. Well, I think that entrepreneurs are going to start seeing that they need to start making content. And, I know this for a fact because I've been talking about it for the last couple of years. And I think in 2020, when I first started really going hard on making content, people were still just doubting it. They're like, dude, content doesn't matter. Like, focus on your business, dude. 2021, I had grown a lot and people were like, dude, it's super cool that you're making content. Like, kudos to you. It wasn't even like, man, I want to do that too. It was just like, yeah, that's good, man. 2022, things have changed. I know for a fact because I've gotten more and more people asking me over this year saying, Ryan, how do I start? How do I start? And then eventually that's why I created Wealthy Creator, where we teach entrepreneurs how to grow on social media and turn their views into dollars. Like that's our motto. So, and just seeing the success of Wealthy Creator and how fast people have joined has made me realize like this trend is going to continue. And to see the instant ROI from content in some cases is tremendous. When I say instant ROI, I don't mean that you're all of a sudden just going to, make all this money as an influencer or something like that. No. Instant ROI comes from, having an established business already. Okay. So if you went and said, you know what, I want to go and join Wealthy Creator, I'm going to go put up, a bunch of money to go pay for this. I would tell a real estate investor that, hey, do you think that making content could get you like one more deal, right? Do you think that just making these videos could potentially get you one more deal or get you one more lender that you could raise money from that could help you buy another deal? And the answer, obviously, everyone would say yes. And it's like, well, what's a real estate deal worth to you? I mean, for some people, that's worth 20 grand, 30 grand. I mean, some people it could be worth millions if they're into big deals, right? I know for me, content has made millions in just the real estate game alone, right? I mean, we've raised over $10 million at Pineda Capital, and it's strictly all from social media. So I would not own all the apartment buildings I own if I didn't make these videos, right? So instantly I can say, yes, content in the real estate investing space, has made millions of dollars. All right. Just talking about it from that end. But it's also gotten me plenty of house flips, wholesales, and a whole bunch of other things. Right. So I'm glad I did the marketing and created content for that. And the beauty of this marketing tactic is very much like outbound marketing where, it doesn't cost you a lot of money. Like posting on social media doesn't cost you a lot of money. It doesn't actually cost you that much money to start making videos. You can make videos from your iPhone and get to work today. Cost you $0. The platforms cost $0 to start posting them. It's freaking crazy. I've never seen any other industry like it where people let you use their ad space for free. You can go post on YouTube right now for free. You can go post on TikTok for free. And they will push it out to people who then can become aware of you and buy from you. It's crazy when you think about it. No other industry works that way. Like, I can't go and make a TV commercial and the TVs are going to go play it. I got to go pay them to do that. I can't go and just get all the data from people and cold call them all for free. It's going to cost me money to go get the data and do all that, right? I can't go and send direct mail for free. I got to go pay postage fees. I got to pay the letters. I got to pay the, everything to create those letters. So when I look at social media and I'm like, dude, it could literally cost me $0 because everyone has a phone. We can all make a piece of content. We can all sign up for all these platforms for free. None of them charge. And all of us can post. And the cool thing is there's no limit to how many times you could post on social media, right? Like it's absolutely insane to me that people don't see what I see in business. Like, I'm like, dude, you're telling me I can post as many times as I want and you're not going to charge me. Like I can make my own videos and talk. Also, I could talk about whatever I want. Like there's no there's some free speech stuff going on, but like for the most part, I can talk about like 98% of things. And if it's about my business, pretty much everything I could talk about with my business, I could talk about it every freaking episode. And as long as people want to watch it, it will get views. But, if no one wants to watch it, then I got to reevaluate. So, long story short, for me, marketing wise, I see no better value than social media, and it's not going away. Content creation's only going to keep getting bigger. There's a reason why Amazon is spending so much money to create their own content. There's a reason Netflix has been doing it for years. There's a reason Disney's doing it. Everybody is trying to load up on content. Like it's seriously the content wars right now. When you look at even the social media platforms, they are vying to get creators on their platforms. YouTube has been king for a long time. So, and the reason YouTube's king is because they pay a lot of money to the creators. Well, it's like, all right, well, TikTok's going to do it now. Facebook's going to do it now. I just signed a deal with Snapchat. We're going to see how that goes. Like they're all doing it now because they know how important it is to have content creators make content. And, at the end of the day, you get these influencers who make content and they think that that is their business. And I mean, I've looked at it always and I've laughed because I'm like, well, that's not where the business is. I don't even need that many views on a video if I'm talking about my business and it gives me one lead that, pencils out for my business. I get one tax client who pays us $5,000. Cool. I get one lead for a deal that makes us 30 grand. Cool. We get one student that makes us 10 grand. Cool. Right. I only need one view to actually make that happen, And so I think people overestimate the amount of following you need on social media to actually get a great ROI. I know plenty of, I guess you would call them micro influencers, people who are making six figures, multiple six figures a year with a couple of thousand followers. And obviously it's not from like ad revenue. They're not getting that many views, but they're just putting in the work on social media. They're making content around their business and they are then getting leads to their business. Because the other part about social media that I really love now is the algorithms are getting so good that they know what is good content and what is relevant. And so if somebody is searching for, I don't know, let's call it Airbnb, they're able to push the Airbnb content to that person. And guess what? If I have Airbnb content and I have an Airbnb product, and I mentioned it in this video that somebody is searching for, and then they get recommended this video and they watch it, odds are they're going to probably become a lead for my business. Before, when the algorithm sucked, that may not have been the case, right? Like they may not have gotten shown that Airbnb video. They may have never found you. And so to me anyways, it's never been easier than ever to find the right people to watch your videos. Like the algorithms are so good now, they will push people to watch your videos, the right people, okay? And that's why, when I look at my following, it's not the biggest by any means. I mean, it's big compared to most people, but, on a per follower basis, we're able to generate way more revenue than almost anyone because we have the right kind of products and services that the people who follow me want. Like I'm in tune with what my audience wants. They want to get better at real estate. They want to save money on taxes. They want to, create content, so we offer these services to them. And, even if you don't have a following right now, you can have a following. And if you make the right content, the algorithm's going to naturally send it to the people who are interested in that style of content and who are therefore interested in your business. Okay. So that's my rant about content creation and marketing. You got to know it is the number one way to do this going forward. It has been for years and it will continue to be for years to come. Okay. Now, the reason content creation is also important is once you get to the paid media side. Okay. So, if you're running paid ads, and let's just talk social media paid ads, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or TikTok or Snapchat, whatever. The best performing ads that we have found are ads that are basically content, right? When I first started out, I used to make ads that were quote unquote, like they sounded like ads, and I'll give you an example. I would say something along the lines of, hey, our next event is coming up this January. I want to see you there. It's amazing, and then it'd be like highlight, boom, 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 get people hyped up for the event and all that stuff. And, it's like this 1 minute sizzle reel for the event just to get people hyped up. Right. And those can work. I'm not saying they don't work. Right. But it's not really, in my opinion, content. I think it's more so just, I don't know, like a flex. It's like a summary, right? For me, if I'm trying to get people to come to my next event, okay, and by the time this airs, it might already be event times, January 9th to the 12th, by the way, if you guys want to know, okay? But if I was trying to get people to come to my next event, I would do content around what that event is covering, okay? And I would just disguise the ad as any other piece of content I would do, whether it was a reel, whether it was a YouTube video, whether it was a podcast, just like this. The best kind of ads are the ones that you don't know are ads. You think they're just normal pieces of content. In fact, it's funny. My media buyer was telling me this the other day. We have an ad where it's just a podcast. It's like literally an hour. And you're laughing because it's an hour-long ad. But what happens is YouTube will play this in between videos. So somebody will be watching a video and then all of a sudden it shows the ad, right? And then people don't realize they're watching an ad for an hour. It's just like, it's the ad. It's not the next video suggested by YouTube. And then they're sitting there and they're just like now being fed this podcast of something extremely valuable, obviously, that they're probably interested in. And then like underneath it, it's just showing like, hey, if you want to, learn more about this and what Ryan's talking about in this podcast, like click the link. And that is the best performer out of, anything, right? You want to do content, or you want to do ads that are truly content. And so if you ever look on my Instagram reels, I release a lot of reels a day. I release 6 a day. I've been doing that for over a year. And you might say 6 reels a day is crazy. And it's like, it's not really crazy when you know you can post them for free. Like, well, it's not like it costs me to go do those 6 reels. I mean, yeah, I got editing fees and stuff, but that cost is minuscule compared to how much revenue they generate, right? And so what I'll do is 2 of those reels, I will make them have a call to action at the end. And so the call to action is going to be DM me this keyword, right? And that takes them through my funnel. But, essentially it's an ad. But people don't know it's an ad until the very end because it's disguised as a normal video the entire time, right? Like for the first however long the video is, it might be 30 seconds, and I might just be, let's just use a real estate example. I'm just like, hey, here's what the real estate market's doing, blah, blah, blah. Here's what I plan to do this coming year in the real estate market, and here's why I'm doing it, and blah, 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 right? And so I'm giving these reasons, and people are liking the content. And at the end, I'm like, and by the way, I'm having an event this week or next month. I'd love for you to join. DM me this keyword, right? So the call to action and the pitch were like literally 2 seconds, whereas the piece of content was 30 seconds to a minute. And, people will have watched that full 30, 60 seconds and gotten a ton of value from it. And then they're going to say, wow, he's got an event. I didn't know that. Cool. Like that was super helpful information, whether that was their first video of me or not, right? Maybe they're already a fan or a follower. And so, for them, it was just another good piece of content. And they're like, oh, I didn't know Ryan had an event coming up. Or maybe it was a brand new person who's never seen me before. And they hear the content and they're like, wow, I really like this guy. Wow, he's got an event too. Like, I wonder, let me check this guy out and see what else he's got going on. So I think with marketing, especially when it comes to social media and video, whether you're doing paid or not, you want to just make good content. Don't make it an ad where you're thinking, oh, I got to tell them about the event right away. I got to create this sizzle reel. It's like, nah, just give good advice and good content and create mystery and intrigue about, this cool thing you've got going on and get people to, register for your event or, get on the wait list or get on a sales call, whatever, put in their information. And that's going to be the best way to drive traffic to your business. 1000% is just getting good at creating content. And this goes back to why I'm saying, if you can get good at creating social media content, you then can use that skill to get good at ads. That's essentially what happened with me. I didn't run paid ads for years. I strictly focused on getting good at content. And it really wasn't until 2022 that we started really running ads like full force. And by then I'd already been doing it for years. And so when it came to making ads, I was already proficient at it. I knew what to do. And it was great. So, in the end, what I'm saying is content is king. Content really is. And you have to get good at creating it in today's world of marketing. Now, there are other forms of marketing, like I mentioned as well, right? Like I've made TV commercials, which that will be a traditional ad, right? I don't have time. I don't have an ad spot to go give people content on the TV. Okay. I'm just talking social media ads when I do that. But we run the TV commercials, we do direct mail, we, have all these different lead generation tactics with our marketing. But, at the end of the day, what you got to always remember with marketing is It's not necessarily to explain every little thing all the time. When I get to talk in long form like this, I can explain a lot of things in depth and it's amazing. But depending on how long I have to catch this person, I mean, it could be as small as 1 second because they're just going to like scroll past a picture, which is the marketing for an ad. And if they don't like what they see at the picture, it doesn't intrigue them enough to stop scrolling. I missed them, right? I might have 30 seconds to sell them, 15 seconds, right? And, in the 15 seconds, my goal is not to like sell them on buying right there. My goal is just to sell them on taking the next step. And typically, taking the next step for us is getting them to watch a VSL, video sales letter. And, that way they can then learn more about, my company, whatever, right? But maybe you're just running a clothing brand, right? The next step is to just get them to click to go look at the store and the products and everything else. And so, you got to understand how much time you actually have to get them to do it, right? If I know I got, I'm into this thing like 40 minutes right now, and let's just say I brought up a lot of companies, but the most relevant company to this podcast would be Wealthy Creator, right? And, if you're watching it this far, then you probably don't care that I'm mentioning Wealthy Creator because you've already gotten a ton of value. And you know that at this point, Wealthy Creator can help you, get to your solution for what you're trying to do with content as an entrepreneur. And so, I had 40 minutes basically to kind of show you why this is super important and why you should do it, right? And so if you do feel that way, you can go to wealthycreator.io and, go through the sales funnel I've been telling you about. But if you don't think that it's worth it and you're this far, then it means that I should at least be doing a good enough job to get you to follow and eventually keep watching videos and, maybe another video will do it that'll get you to understand. Maybe another video, right? They say that in order for somebody to close in business, you got to touch them 7 times. Okay. It's like very few people see you for the first time, talk to you for the first time, and then all of a sudden they're like, I'm ready to buy, right? It's only after seeing you or talking to you 7 times that the average person is like, you know what? I would buy from that person. That's how so many times it takes. And so, I think at the end of the day for me, when it comes to media, content, marketing, I'm always thinking about, hey, how do I just like be in front of people nonstop and always provide a ton of value with my content? If I can just do that and they see me 7 times and they get 7 times of value, there's a good chance they're at least thinking about, joining one of my businesses. And that's what you need to think about for your customers. How do you just be omnipresent and continue to get in front of them? If you are able to do that, I can guarantee you they're going to start buying from you because you're just giving them so much value that at this point, it's kind of like the law of reciprocity, right? People feel like they have to give back when they are given so much value by somebody else. And so, if I've never even talked to you, but you feel like I've given you value, you might feel like you want to give back just because that's the law of reciprocity, even though like technically I haven't like given you money or anything. I've just been giving you value and knowledge and whatever else, right? But your customers are going to think that way too. This is why so many businesses do marketing with like a free gift and things like that. It's like, hey, sign up, we'll give you a free gift or something like that. And you give them a free gift. And it's like, yeah, that free gift that cost them $10 or $5 led to you buying something for $5,000, right? It's like, that's a good trade. But, maybe, and who's really good at doing this, by the way, with their marketing are timeshares. Timeshares have been doing this for a long time where they're like, hey, if you just sit in on our pitch, we'll give you a free trip to here. We'll give you this thing for $250, right? All you got to do is sit in on our pitch, right? And so what happens is, you sit in on the pitch and they know that, you can sit in and say no, and you're going to still get this thing. But usually when you're in there and, you see these people working really hard, you see that you're going to be given this and, you're starting to see a little bit of the value, all these things are now going against you with the law of reciprocity where you're like, man, they're giving me this trip. This guy worked really hard. They're really nice. It seems like a pretty good deal. I guess I'll do it, right? And so then you buy a timeshare, right? And I've never bought a timeshare, so I can't tell you how good or bad it is. But the timeshare industry doesn't have like the best reputation. But at the end of the day, all it cost them was good marketing. They said, "Hey, we'll give you $250 if you just hear our pitch." And many people take that bet, and many people come out spending a lot more money than they thought they were going to spend, even though they may have told themselves going into it, "Yeah, I'm just here for this, and I'm not gonna fall for this." And the law of reciprocity is what pushes them to do it. So think about that with your marketing. How can you create people to feel like they got to reciprocate value towards you because you've just given them so much value? And overall, marketing is my favorite thing about business. I'm always innovating and thinking about new ways to market, because if I do a good job of that, I know sales become infinitely easier, because you don't have to sell as hard because you just did such a great job with your marketing and your funnel that they already know, they're prepped, they're qualified. And so to sell becomes much simpler. Louis Vuitton doesn't have to sell people, right? I mean, like, they have salespeople, but their marketing is so good with, the celebrities and people they have in their ads, and their product is so good. People proudly wear it on social media. They give them free marketing. Your favorite celebrities, your favorite, influencer, they're wearing it. And, all of a sudden, when it comes sale time, if you walk into the Louis Vuitton store and you want to buy, the sale becomes pretty easy. I mean, like, the salespeople, they don't have to do that much to sell it, right? So, and I mean, we're talking about, selling $5,000 purses. Like, this is a big sale, but the marketing is so good that they don't need to focus so much on salespeople. And that's the goal. At the end of the day, make your marketing so good that sales takes care of itself, and then operations is really all you got to worry about. And if you can make operations so good, it then reverts back to marketing, where everyone talks about you, and then it just leads to more sales. So it's kind of like a circle. And that's how I always think about it. And that's why I focus a lot on marketing and content creation. So hope that was super helpful for you entrepreneurs. If you like videos like this, you want me to do more in-depth breakdowns like this one, let me know in the comments. And make sure you watch this next video. We're going to show you the original video about the landing pages and the funnels we use. And so this marketing video is going to make a lot more sense when you tie it in with this video coming up. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that podcast. Thanks for making it to the end. The good news is I've got another one that I know you're going to like, and all you got to do is click it right here, linking it right here. All you got to do is just click it, and you're going to see this new episode that you're going to love.